Live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Estate Unwrapped. I don't know why I have my finger out like this, but I'm shooting. I don't know. I guess I was pointing at
Good morning.
It's like we're all pointing at each other, kind of thing. No,
Gigi, you gotta point down. You gotta point down.
Yeah, I don't know which finger I'm using here.
There you go.
No, there. I'm pointing at it now.
Just
There
like,
you go.
what
Right. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Touchdown.
Good morning, everybody.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
I was trying to find Ed's. There you go.
Post.
I'm gonna add that to my story again.
Yeah.
Buenos dias. Buenos dias.
Let everybody in, folks.
Absolutely, man. But let me just start saying
Yes.
our beautiful gratitude of saying buenos dias, bonjour,
Bonjour.
Nano, ni hao, and hello, everyone, for being here today with us at a beautiful weekend. Well, week with this nice little cloudy day that's happening today. But I am so happy to be with you guys today. It is a very productive week for me. I'm sure it's been a very productive week for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys been up to. However, as we let the folks in, I actually like this particular topic we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And this is something that, I tend to do a lot of, or use it to at least be as effective as possible, and efficient as possible throughout my business as well. So I'm looking forward to it. But before we get into it, Ed, man, tell me about your week, man. How'd it work out?
Crazy, bro. I had a tree that fell on top of my house in Connecticut.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, there was I can't even get into it, but there was a damn tree that fell on our house like about a week and a half ago. We went there last week to assess the situation on Wednesday. We couldn't get that tree down, man. And then yesterday we went over there and finally were able to take it down, man. It was the first time that I actually was chopping down a tree, and it was an experience of a lifetime. If you want to check it out, I'll be posting more of the stories today on Instagram, just on our experience yesterday, because it was crazy. But outside of that, we had a brand new listing that dropped on Wednesday over in Kew Garden Hills. So if you're looking for a junior 4, definitely reach out to me. It's priced pretty good. And then I had a rental listing that just dropped in Kew Gardens. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, $1,850 is the asking rent. The good news is that the landlord is willing to pay half of the broker's fee. So if there's anybody out there that's looking, yeah, for sure, it'd be beneficial to someone coming direct. And then outside of that, we're working on another listing, more appointments. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I hit the ground running in January, so not looking.
Yeah, I got a listing that just dropped. Yeah, I just got a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It just dropped in Kew Gardens, zoned for PS 99. You guys, I'll be putting all my social media stuff later on today. That should be good. Still getting organized, growing the offices here and there. Been pretty good, getting to know the crews, the crew at the different Remax offices that we have here. Interesting, That's it.
that is amazing.
That's it.
So
business as usual.
Business
Another
as
listing
usual.
coming in Kew Garden Hills. Yes.
Let's go.
All right.
Another listing. It's going to be a regular 2-bedroom in Kew Garden Hills on Main Street. I think it's Main Street. Not on Main Street. On what am I talking about?
It's in Queens, right?
Yeah. Anyway, more info to come from Main Street.
It's in Queens.
Yeah, listings and you don't even know where they're at. Let's go. Let's talk about that. I want to be like getting listings and not even knowing where they're located. I love it.
I love it.
No, it is. And on the street, like right by the highway, right there, down there.
Yeah. It's right around the corner of the
It's
other
gonna
corner.
be very easy to show as well.
Nice. Is it one of those you have to make 3 lefts?
Corner, right in the middle of the road. I don't know. Anyway,
cool.
Let's talk about the tech. Cool. We guys, we've never really had that sort of live where we share the kind of tools we use, because not everybody is as savvy. Everybody has a different level. We each have different tastes, but we've been using technology. Good morning, Faith. for a while now, and it's good to share what we like to use. We'd like to hear from you guys, and would be glad to hear about the apps and the programs and the websites and all the different stuff that you like to use for your business. Even if we're not going to cover, we're going to cover a few sections, but let's hear it.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it because
so
we're going to be able to use these tools, but at the same time, folks, comment in the chat box. Let us know what tools and technology you're using to help you generate your business and keep your business moving forward.
And let me just add on to one thing. I mean, honestly, back in the days, we really didn't have too much technologies, and technology is here now, right? So with all these tools that are coming out, the new ones, the old ones, everything, every tool that you use is exactly what I said in the beginning, which is pretty much something that is effective and efficient for you to make your life better as a real estate agent. So I would love to know, maybe there's a few of them that I haven't used yet that I would love to know what everybody else is using, because I'm sure as we were trying to get, think of some of the ones that we use, there's some that I'm like, whoa, I forgot about that one. And I'm starting to use it again. So we actually, everybody has different ones that becomes more effective for them. And I would love to hear, as everybody's been saying, love to hear what everybody is using right now. So let's get into this, man. Let's find out what's going on.
I know you're very
perfect.
Yes, you're always on top.
So I'll do the easy one. I'll do the easy one right now. I'll do the easy one. So the easy one is, obviously when it comes to driving, we all don't think we know Queens well enough, Brooklyn well enough, or any areas that we know well enough. So one of the best apps that I love to use is my Google Maps. Very efficient, quick, gets me to the time that I need to get to, lets me know how far I'm going to be, so on and so forth. Actually, what's funny about what I like about Google Maps is the fact that it's one of those types of things is, you think you know the area, but you don't know it well enough because it gives you some sort of shortcuts or little streets. So you're like, man, I never thought about using this street, right? And now to this day, I'm actually using it, and it's cutting my time from either 15 minutes to at least 12 to 10 minutes. All right. What do you guys use?
I like to use.
So I go between Waze. I like Waze, but not all the time. For some reason, I go in between Google Map and Waze, depending on where I'm gonna go. Like sometimes Waze gives me those crazy long drives, and I'm like, where are they taking me? What the hell is that? And then Google Map has a whole different route with no tolls and stuff going through side streets, and you're still saving times. And I'm like, but sometimes Google Map doesn't work, depending on the area you're going into, like in the Bronx and stuff like that. So it depends. I just try both. I usually look at both and see which one makes the most sense for me, time-wise, and sometimes money-wise. I'm like, let me pay all the tolls. I don't have time for this. Let's go. That's it. Yeah.
I'm avoiding every single toll, first of all. And then I don't think the city needs more of my money. I don't think it needs more of our money. Okay.
Geez.
So I honestly I kind of go through maps on the iPhone. I go through Google Maps and I go through Waze. Funny enough, I actually sit there and put the address in all three to see which one is gonna actually get me there the quickest. At the end of the day,
and the cheapest.
That too. At the end of the day, it's funny that you both mentioned Google Maps and Waze, but Waze actually runs off of the Google Maps platform. That's right. So it uses the same map and traffic patterns that Google Maps uses. However, what I like is that Waze lets me know if there is a police car hidden.
So annoying.
Or if I love it because I'm that guy that's flying through the highway, and then once I see in 0.4 miles there's a cop ahead, I'm slowing down, doing the speed limit. If there is a cop, I highlight night he was there.
That's the thing though, because that's the reason why I don't use Waze. Because Waze will tell you from little critters that are in the area, from cars that are being damaged, from where the cops are located. And it makes me more anxious as a driver because I'm like, where? And I can't. That's the only reason why I don't use Waze.
No, but you can.
Keeps me on my
toes. You can change those algorithms. Like you can actually send them a note and saying that copy is not there, or it was just a camera or whatever. And I guess
You know
they
that you
changed
know I heard
the
that
info.
I heard cops just put it, they just say that they're there when they're actually not there.
That's what I'm
So that's a
saying,
different.
because the app is supposed to be something that it changes as people
Users,
use it.
yeah.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I'm that guy that I'm driving and I see that there's a cop there. I'm looking out for a cop. If I don't see a cop there, I hit no cop and I keep driving. And chances
Yeah.
are that
Yeah.
cop is probably another
Yeah.
half mile down
Hiding.
because they
Yeah.
just finished pulling somebody over.
Yep. Exactly. Who didn't have ways?
Who didn't have ways. So get
But look,
yourself ways.
so instead of actually being so fast in the cars, or at least trying to find shortcuts to get to your appointments, part of that is actually generating some leads and everything, and that goes to marketing. Marketing is something that we actually love to do. We need to do in our business, actually, in order to generate more business into our lives. So, what do you use, Gigi? What do you use for your marketing?
As far as outside of social media, when it comes to generate postcards, when it comes to links to social media, what are we talking about? When it
Well, I
comes
mean,
to
when it comes to marketing, I mean, a few things is, even if you're creating a flyer, right? So one of the few things that I
yeah,
use, that's let's just start with the easiest one, right? So when creating a flyers, or when you're creating even the open house flyers or whatever, what is one that I use is Canva. I use Canva a
Canva,
lot. It's one of my
yeah,
favorites. Canva, I have it on my phone, I have it on my app, on my pad, I have it on my computer. It
on
is
your
the most
computer.
easiest,
Yeah,
you know,
I have that too. It's very good.
yeah, it's the most simplest thing to
Canva
use.
is gonna.
Hello.
Oh, we lost Gigi.
Did we lose
She
Gigi, or did
froze.
we lost me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I got you. So we're back to Canva. So Canva
Look,
is
here.
one
So
of
let me
those.
just share this real quick. So Canva is pretty
Yeah.
interesting, and I wanted to share it on the screen because I use it heavily as well. As you can see, there's a lot of neat features that it has. You can make posts for Instagram, which is clearly what everybody's gravitating to nowadays. But you can create different posts. All right, this is when we did the 2023 takeover business planning seminar, but it's very user friendly. And I opened up another window, so that's not going to work. But again, there's just a lot of information that you can use on Canva. Here we go.
So when you're saying that, I mean, the good thing about Canva. So there's two things about Canva that are really quick. One, there's that free version, and there's also the paid version, right? Obviously, the paid version will give you a little bit more stuff, and you're able to do a lot of more things with it. But the free version, you still have a lot of good things in it, right? You have a lot of good pictures, or a lot of good flyers to use. You don't even, there's so many things you can use Canva for that it's amazing. From using flyers, from creating logos, from pretty much also creating presentations. Yeah, I remember that. Creating presentations, a lot of good things that you can do with it, again, in the free version. But of course, the paid version would allow you to have more stuff out of it. So that's a really good one to go with.
Yeah,
Man,
I
you have
use
a
it a
lot
lot.
there.
Like I said, I do, brother. I use
Yeah.
Canva a lot. These are the posts that I used to make for like anything that was under contract or coming out, coming soon, what's sold,
Right.
But I use it heavily.
That's good. That's good. And
There you go.
it's good. I mean, and right now, to me, I think that you can even use it more. Once you start playing around with it even more than that. But it's an actual really good software to use. So what other people are also using is, not only with Canva, for those who are not completely familiar with it, is hey Gigi. Oh, okay.
Can you add me?
Welcome back.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we got you.
You're back on. You're a little laggy
Right.
though, just to give you a heads up.
It's like Houston. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we're playing peekaboo right now.
The
You're gonna have to
internet
talk to
is
the
not
broker about that
working.
internet.
I don't know what happened. All right. But thank you guys for being here. Look at this. It's lagging. It's awful.
It's
Anyway, so you
okay.
were talking
We
All
were
right.
talking
Canva, right?
about Canva.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
we
about
kind of
Canva.
finished talking about it. Yeah.
So not only Canva, you also have other platforms that you can use. There's other paid ones out there, which I also use. Lab Creations Agent, which is another one, a little bit more refined compared to Canva. A little it's more expensive as well, but it's an actual pretty good one to do.
Mm.
Um, and as far as other part of marketing, I mean, we also have ourselves with the social media and everything else. But let's before we even get to social media, Gigi, is there another platform, another thing that you use to actually market your besides postcards and everything else?
Oh yeah, I mean the suite. Oh God, so sorry. I'm seeing things flashing in and out. The suite
Uh
that
oh.
are given to us at EXP Realty, and also what Remax is actually jumping on KV Core for everything marketing your business as a realtor.
Mm.
Part of the technology suite that we have, and your monthly payments to the company. This is pretty great. I think if you can integrate things you can do on Canva and
Yeah.
KV Core, it's great. Sorry, I'm seeing myself coming in and out.
No worries. That's why you got us. It's okay. No worries. So what I love about
I
marketing
know.
in KV Core is it's actually, and I agree with you. Maybe it wasn't said, but it's you can also lead generate with that as well. From the listings that you have, your team's listings, it's a much easier, user friendly situation. And again, I'm always a fan of actually having something where it's effective and efficient for me, so that once I do it, I can get it done right away. All right. So,
And
all right.
quick.
So and
And
quick,
quick.
yes. I can't be on there too long for all that. And of course, we have Facebook and we have Instagram, but that takes another precedence on that. So, what do you guys use as far as presentations?
Ooh, presentations.
Mm,
So I used to use a lot of geodata, but for the most part, I don't use anything as far as like setting up a full blown presentation. I like to just kind of show the numbers off of the MLS Stratus. If it's a co-op, I like to use Street Easy, pull out all the data I can. But for the most part, I'll use the numbers to show them. Outside of that, I just like to have casual conversations, to be honest, man, because I feel like if we just start going through an entire slideshow, it's almost like we're trying to sell somebody on something. Now, if you use slides, if you go through a whole booklet, I'm not saying don't do it. Use it until you're comfortable where you don't have to use it. But at the end of the day, that's just me. That's me. That's my preference. I like to show numbers on paper because at the end of the day, you can't argue with that. If I'm telling you about numbers, and I've always found it very difficult to explain numbers verbally, that's something that I need to show you. I need to show you on paper what it looks like. And at that
yep.
point, you can't argue with me about it. I pulled out the information, I pulled out the data, I pulled out the history. I'm showing you what sold in the past 6 months, what the price points are. You know what I mean? Like you can't argue with me about that. If I try to explain that to you
Right.
verbally, there's nothing that I'm showing. So people might feel that I'm trying to sell them on something. When I show them the numbers, it's a different story. After that, I just like to have the casual conversation. But like I said, if you use slides, go for it. Use whatever you feel is the strongest tool for you to get the job done.
I mean, sometimes you can use combination of yes slides, do a nice could be a PowerPoint presentation, but also use different just have different tab opens if you're gonna go into a listing that is probably more on the luxury end. You just want to show example of the marketing and the display and how you present your listings and how
Mhm.
they being how they can basically other agents can have access to the listings, and you can show the 3D tour and things like that, and floor plans and other interactive things that the property website can have. So yeah, I mean, it could be a combination of both. I think this is where our versatility come into play. Like some listings gonna have sellers that are very driven, want things quick, don't care what marketing you're going to be using, as long as you use it and they sell right away for the highest money. They don't care. It's just like, just do it. Some people will want to see numbers. Some people will want to see exactly what type of marketing you're doing, how you setting up your appointments, the frequency, and your follow up with them, the client, and so on and so forth. So it all depends. All depends. Customizing and versatile. Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? One thing that when we were actually thinking about this particular thing here, in the past years, pretty much there was one particular one, Breakthrough Broker, which is a website that you can go to, sign up, and everything, and it has two presentations that if you're the one that, like Ed, if you're not the one that likes to talk, but you like to use slides, right, or do a mobile slide or whatever, you can go to Breakthrough Broker and create, two types of slides. You can create a buyer's and listing presentation. Therefore, when it goes in there, now when you're in there, you're actually now showing the seller or the buyer in this case all the good stuff about what you are, what your company is about, what you can do, what process are you all about, if that's the kind of presentation that you'd like to provide.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think it's a really, really an amazing thing to have. So,
is it something you would recommend to a new agent?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if it's I mean, look at the page. I'm gonna say no, yes and no in a sense. So no, because you can get stuck in there and just write information and you don't even know what you need to write, right?
True.
And it's like you get in there and it's what they call that, a rabbit hole. Like you just get stuck in there and you'll be there for hours, right? Because the thing is, with Breakthrough Broker, it's a platform that allows and gives you so much information that you went in there for one thing, but 30 hours later, you're actually ending up with something else. So, yes, it is a great platform for that, but I think that it's...
You know what I use? I use Breakthrough Brokers for... I use Breakthrough Brokers for... I used it for open houses in area where I had agreed to take a listing on. Actually, it really helped me getting to know the area. Like their open house flyers with a different point of interest in the neighborhood. That was really, really helpful for me. Basically for me, and how to help sell that listing, which I was not too familiar with the area. So I was very grateful to have Breakthrough Broker when it came to that.
Yeah, and there's other ones like that would help you actually if you're a new agent and you don't know about you're doing an open house for somebody else. But before I even go to that, look at what things that that we're sliding up and back and forth. You could do door hangers, you could do postings, you could do listings, you could do showcase. There's a lot. Even the letters, I've actually used letters on that too. So it has a lot of platforms you can actually go into. Which is amazing for postcards and so on and so forth. Another one, in what I was about to say right now, and make it quick for everyone, is there's a lot of folks are using it. It's called list reports.
Yeah.
So when you're doing an open house and have a list report pretty much out there. Now, what list reports is they have infographics of the area of the house that you have, and then it gives you the schools, the shops, the information around it, and it allows that customer to say, you know what, this person knows what's going around here. And if imagine you speak to your listing agent, you speak to a seller and you're saying, hey, listen, I know about this. Here it is. And that's list reports right there. So list reports is a great tool, especially when you're doing an open house, when you provide the buyers, prospecting buyers, to actually now see what's around the area without them having to go back to Trulio, back to any other companies out there to see what's been the right thing, or what's been the school for this particular house. Or
all those are free, by the way. This is all free, correct?
Free. Yeah, all this is easy stuff for you to get into. Okay.
So what I like about list reports is if you're already connected to, for example, a loan officer on this, the minute you put a listing out, it actually automatically
sends you the
marketing kit. You know what I mean? So perfect example here is look at all the stuff that I get. The minute I put it out there, They have just listed, open house, under contract, recent sold, right? All of this is information that we can download and
All
then
that.
use it at our open houses or whatever the case is, right? Like, check this out, view open house flyer. I didn't have to do any of this. This literally pulled all the information from the listing itself.
And
I
it
didn't do any
generated
of
for
this,
you. Yeah.
right? Look, listing information, property, text this information to this number. You'll get all the information about the property, right? You scroll down, you see very convenient the walking the area within 1 mile. This is what you'll find: grocery stores, gas station, coffee shops, gyms, movie theater, school, right? This now takes away the need for when someone says, "How's the neighborhood?" or "How are the schools around here?" Clearly, we can't tell them what they are. They have to literally go out there and find that in public information, because we could potentially lose our license if we say the wrong thing, right? But check it
Right.
out. It's here. I didn't say this. This is information that's automatically populated, right? The schools in the area, the ratings are there, right? The different types of school, how close and far they are, right? Outdoor stuff. What do they have in the area? Right? Look at this, 41 dog parks. Who would have thought within a 10-mile radius there'll be 41 dog parks? All right.
Okay.
I didn't even know we had
Right.
8 lakes nearby. There's lakes within a 10-mile radius of Kew Garden Hills, right? Look at the neighborhood eats, and God knows I love to eat, but look at all the different information. So it's like you're getting a lot of information, and I didn't even have to physically put that information there, right? Infographics. Look at this. Boom. Very convenient,
Yeah,
right?
it's now whatever you just showed right there. Each sheet has its own infographic.
For sure.
Each section
How
has its own.
how helpful do you guys think this really is, right?
Very, very.
Absolutely.
I
I use it
received
a
the
lot.
marketing kit as well. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right? Look at this. All of this coming soon flyers, just listed flyers, right? It's already pre-set up for you to go out there, and it literally gives you back time so that you can focus on more productive things, like prospecting, like calling people. you know, but I love it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And then I've seen they have social media posts as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's also
Absolutely.
linked to your mortgage person. All right. No, I guess if you're brand new, not very
Yeah.
savvy,
Yeah.
you have already a done for you things. That's pretty cool.
It's
I
that's what
actually
it is,
think this
because
one's much better.
well, it's like Israel said, right? The problem is, and it can happen, we can easily lose ourselves when we're trying to do all this stuff, right? You look at
Hmm.
Breakthrough Broker and you go on there and you see, oh my God, I could create social media posts. I could do flyers. I could do an open house flyer. I could do this. I could do that. The key is to not get lost in that. You need to go into those sites and use it for what you need, right? Like, I'm doing open houses this weekend. So what am I going to do? I got to create flyers. I got to create an open house post. If I go into Breakthrough Broker or any of these websites, I'm going in there solely for that purpose, right? So if you're going on there, don't just go on there to do everything,
Right.
because you need to do it one step at a time. So focus on what it is that you need to accomplish for the next couple of days, and that's what you go in there to try to do. Don't get lost in that, because you could literally spend hours in these websites, and you might think you got things done, but in all honesty, there wasn't a lot of work done, you know.
Right.
Right. So thank you for showing that. I mean, that's amazing, and especially the breakthrough broker. That's actually a really good thing. And we always have to, we always run into the buyers who don't know whether or not they can afford it. Right. So now, when it comes to calculations and the analytics and all this other information that we can try to help them out with, but at the end of the day, we obviously want to give them to the right lender to help them get the right number for them to buy that house or co-op or condo. But in the beginning, I mean, honestly, we all have this particular app, and then the one I use a lot. I'm not sure if you guys do, is Carl's Mortgage Calculator.
I do. Yeah. I
Oh my
have it on
God.
my phone.
It's one of the
Yeah.
most effective, efficient things for me to use. If I have to plug in some numbers, I'll plug in numbers and I'll show them, look, this is an estimate of what you can spend per month on this particular house. Obviously, when you speak to your lender can either improve that number or show you something else that you can do as well. So, what most folks can do is actually use that. And what I was using before Carl mortgage calculator, I used to use Zillow mortgage calculator. and that actually was an app at one time. So I actually started using that, but I
Yeah.
feel Carl a little bit more, a little better than
I
that.
just like the car mortgage calculator to be very quick, very simple to use. You don't have to. I don't want to give any mortgage information. This is outside of my, basically what my license and what I'm allowed to do. But sometimes in your real estate conversations, it comes along. Not necessarily when you're doing real estate, but a lot of the times I use this in personal settings,
Yeah,
having real estate conversations, speaking with my kids, speaking with my, with friends and stuff. How much do you think a mortgage on a house like this is? Let's look at it. Pop, pop, pop. Like, let's say the person has a good, decent credit and so on and so forth. They can get like whatever, rate is currently published, and they're putting a 20% down. This is what the mortgage would be on this type of house.
yeah,
And this taxes are this here, those are your monthly payment, and goes the insurance, so about that. So why not? I mean, I think it's something that you use on a regular basis several times a week in your conversations. It's a good thing to have,
absolutely,
right? Because
absolutely.
basically our job is to just always be the source of the source, right? And say, here, I use
Always.
this program, this is fantastic, you know
And again, for those who don't know how to get to this app, it is fine, but you can always use this little calculator, and it's the same thing. Ziegler Mortgage Calculator will help you out with that information as well. So there's so many different ways. And honestly, if you don't need the mortgage, but you just want to see the analytics of how much a home is worth, I mean, one of the top things I like to use, and it's pretty much on my phone a lot, which is the Google Sheets, which is the same thing as using Microsoft Excel. And I have my own little chart that I use, my own little information that I put in, and it helps me calculate or analyze certain properties that I either investors would like to buy or that I would like to know a little more about.
yeah. I don't really go too much into the analytics. I don't have time for that, but I don't have the patience. But overall, yeah, if you wanted to see what the amortization, mortgage payments, you get graphs and stuff. That's pretty cool. If you really were into that, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know
definitely,
Ed and I would probably use it more too as well when it comes to figuring out the TIs of someone or having to speak about
For sure.
the co-op's information as well. That is a
It's
really good calculation to go to.
it's you know what it is though. I use it. See, when we got the tool, it was used to qualify a potential buyer. What I noticed was that I started to also use it on the listing end. That's where it got interesting for me. Because of that, when you're trying to figure out if this potential buyer meets the co-op requirements, for example, it's like I was doing it in reverse. I set up the price of what the apartment cost, I set up what the minimum down payment was, and then I was looking at the potential DTI. So I would literally have what a bare minimum potential buyer would have to look like
yeah,
for them to pass the board from a financial standpoint.
exactly, yeah,
So
yeah,
that's where I really started to use it a little more aggressively because it was giving me that information. So when somebody would come in and ask me these questions, I would already have a printout, right? It's almost like when you go to the car dealership and they already have like all the information, but they're basing it off of tier one credit. And you know that nobody has tier one credit, right? Like everybody has like tier seven. And it's like I set it up in that way. It's like it's set up like, hey, if we're looking at the perfect scenario, this is what the potential buyer would have to look like in order for them to look good in front of the board. But at the same time, what that tool also helps us do is that we can actually calculate how much somebody can potentially qualify for a house. We already know that banks look at a what? 49% debt to income ratio, right? So if we can calculate the 49% debt to income
that's
ratio,
pretty high, but yeah, okay,
I mean, they're all 47, 48,
yeah,
40.
47 to
I heard somebody
49,
say
yeah.
51. Okay.
wow,
I was like 51. And they're like,
that's
yeah,
yeah,
we could even do all the way up to 51. Now it depends on whether it's conventional or FHA. All right.
Right,
But
right.
at the end of the day, if you're looking at somebody and you know what, you want to use 45%, that's income ratio, just to be conservative, right? You can literally put that together. You can run the numbers, put them together, 45% debt to income ratio, and then you can see what this person might potentially qualify for if they went to get a pre-approval. So it's almost like sometimes people don't get pre-approved, but sometimes I like to give them a rough estimate and I clearly tell them straight up, this is a rough estimate. It could be a little more, it could be a little less. I don't know. I'm not a mortgage person, but I'm giving you what these numbers can potentially be. So that's the reason why I like using the Excel spreadsheet that we have.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't really give, but looking at definitely like a general profile of a buyer and explaining that to a seller is what I would use that Excel spreadsheet for, as far
Yeah.
as purchase cost analysis. Yeah, 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 yeah.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
what else do we have outside of this? I think we're pretty
Well,
much.
we're touching on social media at this point. All
Yeah,
right. And
I
it's
think so.
interesting because for social media, clearly, as much as we don't like to admit it, we now have to get in front of the cameras and we literally have to talk to people, even though we hate the way we sound. All right. So we literally have to use specific tools. And I just started implementing this now. I used to use Linktree before, which was pretty interesting, but I just went back to Linktree, and I'll share
yeah,
my screen too, just so you guys can see Linktree. Um, but at the end of the day, it's super beneficial because Linktree, and this is not the paid version, they have a paid version as well, which I think it allows you to put more links, and then they take out their advertisement here where it says Linktree. But I really don't care. What I like about it is that I can add different links that'll send people to different places, right? And in combination with this, I also like to use Calendly, which I'll kind of share that one as well for you guys so you can get an idea. But Calendly, I also like because this now gives people the ability to set up appointments with you. Everybody's zooming online, everybody's going through video chat. Um, you don't have to necessarily do a video chat, but these are links that we can now add to our Calendly, right? You can literally set up appointments online and we can copy these links, put it into our link tree like I showed you, and then we put it on our social media
right.
platforms,
Link
right?
your Calendly with your Google Calendar, so
For
Calendly
sure.
already blocks the time that you already where you are busy, and you can have consultations with buyers, sellers, other agents, 15, 30 minutes, whatever time you set. This is pretty good. I stopped a little bit, and I don't know why, because I had it linked to several programs,
Hmm.
like my digital business card and so on and so forth. But it's something that I just want to re-implement because it was really useful. You go on Calendly and people know right away what time you're going to be available and when they can schedule consultation with you.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really powerful tool, honestly. Imagine you doing that for a doctor. You just click, hey, I want to meet you at this time at this date, and so on and so forth, right? So that's why I love Calendly, because Calendly, I mean, you're showing it as a link tree, but that particular link that you create, because as you saw, there was 4 other pages there for Calendly. You can actually create so many different ones for so many different things, from an open house, by appointment, 60 minutes, so on and so forth. Title it the way you want to title it. Right, I'm presuming that those are the paid versions. So title the way you title it. The way I use my Calendly, and it's been effective for me, is not only it's on my link tree, it's also on my emails. So all my email signatures already says it. Hey, you want to talk to me? Click here. On my virtual or digital business card, you want
Yeah,
to speak? Click here. Okay,
yeah,
so everything that has to do with digital in the sense of what you want to talk to me, just click here, and it will go straight into my Calendly and then straight to my Google Calendar right away. So that's a really effective. I
oh
love
yeah,
this
it's a
tool.
great tool. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it really, I mean, and Calendly's Linktree is another good one because it allows you to actually get into so many different sites or so many different things that you want the people to for a call to action kind of thing. You want them to really get into knowing you or having to speak about you, or trying to get to you. So you're using it in this case, Ed, as you have your testimonials, you have your bookings, you have what's hot in the market. I've actually done it in the sense that if you want to know what's selling in the market, you could do it that way. You could also have it as just a small consultation, or if you just want to see what's the newest open houses in the area, done that
yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
there's really different ways you can go by that. Um, And then, what I love about the digital world is the fact that it's so elusive. That there's so much stuff out there. Again, what I use for my digital card, ladies and gentlemen, I had over 4 digital cards out there. I've actually got rid of 3 of them because I'm like, you know what? Why am I wasting money, so on and so forth? And there's one particular one that's pretty free, but there's also money out there, and it's Blinked. It's a very easy one to use. It is pretty much all you have to do is use your QR code, and it allows your buyers, sellers, or any prospects you speak to, up to renters, to say, "Hey, listen, let me see his email address. Let me see his Facebook. Let me see his Instagram.
Yeah.
Let me schedule it." And you can set it up in that format, and it's a very
I
easy thing to
set
do
it up as a widget on my phone.
as a
So I don't
widget
even
as well.
have to look to. I don't even have to look for the app. The QR code is right there, and
That's
that's it.
right.
It's set up into my Blink, and from there they also have a lot of links to all my social media and stuff like that, which is great. And that's why I was saying I haven't reset up my Calendly on that, but it's definitely a to-do list for this weekend. You know.
But it's you know what? I love the fact that Ed just brought this up. So now, no, look at this particular page, Ed. If you could just before you even put that in, notice that all the stuff that he has there. It's pretty much you have your Twitter, your Instagram. I mean, you don't want to overflood this particular Blink because after a while it gets ridiculous.
Oh
But
yeah.
imagine you putting your particular card, your cards. These little cards can never fit this much information, that you have on this digital card. So I've actually have taken advantage of putting in as much as I can in order for them to try to reach me as much as they can as well. So from my Facebook,
Yeah.
my Instagrams, even my LinkedIn as well is in there. I don't use TikTok because I'm not going to be dancing. But the point is that I'm actually, it's in there. It's in there for you to reach out to me and say, hey, listen, I need to talk to you about real estate. So it's a great thing to have. So
No, 100%.
yeah, and I love this. I mean, this is a really good
Yeah.
thing. And you know what? For the ladies and gentlemen, we also have this. I mean, we're going to end this right now with a couple other things, but I'm just going to breeze right through this real quick. RSA, really much is a real safety agency. It's an app. RSA, just like that. Okay. It's an app. It's a free app that you can use so that when you go somewhere, look, ladies and gentlemen, real estate is not. We need to be safe. Let's just put it this way: we always need to be safe, right? So, it is an app to let people know where you're going to be,
Okay.
and after a while, okay, it would text you to say, "Hey, listen, are you okay?" So on and so forth. And then if you're not, it would text the other people in your connections or your contacts. Hey, this person is not doing well. Reach out to this person. Okay, a real simple way of putting it. It's a real simple app. It's an app that'll help you out just in case something does go wrong with you. You can actually have somebody who's going to look out for you no matter what. And there's actually other apps that do the same things, but that's something that we could definitely talk about another time. And as far as other apps that we use, I mean, honestly, QuickBook is a great one for any of the accounting stuff. So if you're one of those that need to track your numbers or track your taxes or so on and so forth, QuickBooks self employers is a really good one to go with because it gives you 2 things. It helps you track your receipts. That we need to track our receipts to get those deductions because honestly, I don't think about paying Uncle Sam too much money. And at the same time, it helps you actually track your driving. You want to basically grab all those miles. We're not just going 2-3 miles out of here. We're actually going 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles. So you want to grab all those miles so that you're able to track and deduct all those miles into your taxes. Because I like money, and I don't think I need to give all that to Uncle Sam. All right. What else do you guys think that we should?
That's
What other ones we want to plug in?
No, pretty much. I've been playing around with apps like Expensify and all that.
Mm,
Still trying to find like the best one that fits me. Like where I can just store receipts and things like that. Again, still, again, I mean, it's always a work in progress. You know,
yeah.
and
There's actually one more that I forgot to mention, and it's Google Suites.
oh yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the
I
most
know.
important
It goes
one,
without saying. Like
right?
if you it's a one and all thing, it just replaces all the Microsoft Office suite things that you have, and now you can have access to it whether you carry your computer or no. It's on my phone. It's the same thing. I downloaded the
Absolutely.
apps and you just use it. You know, my drive is on my phone. I access things. I can go back into Google Sheets. I can go back into Words. I can even dictate whatever documents I have and save them on my drive. I mean, this is like amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
No,
Yeah.
what I would just mention is there's so many different types of tools and technology. And again, guys, find out what works best for you. And you could literally sit there and lose hours of time if you're just gonna be looking for apps that are gonna help you in whatever scenario. Don't spend too much time doing that. All right.
Just
If
do
there,
it. Do things that are useful, like
yeah,
that you're
like
gonna
look,
save your time.
you gotta create you gotta create an open house flyer, no doubt. Go on Canva and set one up. You know what I mean? But don't sit there on Canva and now you're gonna try to create flyers for everything, social media posts. I'm going to go ahead and create my buyer's consultation slides, and I'm going to create my seller's consultation slide. Like, if you're not going on a buyer's appointment and you're not going on a seller's appointment,
Don't do it.
don't sit there and do that, because it takes time. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes time. And if you're somebody like me
A lot of time.
that works better under pressure, like you know how fast you're going to get that done. If you get a seller's consultation appointment and you're like, oh, I got to go in 2 days, you're going to go crunch time and put together a seller's consultation slideshow. You know what I mean? Like, don't sit there and do it if you don't have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
You have to-
again, it depends on the. I'm speaking to some agents that cannot do anything unless they are prepared. It's not me, but
Yeah.
I can understand. You know.
Yeah. Sekou
Now,
said it.
Sekou is,
Leveraging should make life easy, not make
More work. Yeah.
more work. All right. I thought we were playing Jeopardy for a second. I couldn't figure out that other. Let me get an M. You
Yeah.
know? But it's true, right? And it's true what he said, right? There you go. More. Let's go.
I know.
You know, but it's 100% true. Like, you don't want to spend so much time there. At the end of the day, we need to focus on what's going to really drive revenue, what's going to build more business. And we can't stress it enough that it has to be prospecting, right? Prospecting is the key. And don't take away from that. If there's something that you should be spending more time on, is prospecting. These tools will help make the job a little bit easier, right? Like list reports. List reports is something that I didn't even have to physically go in there and punch in that information. The flyers are already made.
It's done for you, yeah.
But I'm sure there's people out there that are going to be like, oh my God, like this isn't perfect enough. Like, I need to create it with my taste and style. Like, forget that. All right. We don't have time for that. Just have something created. If you really want something done professionally, hire a professional to do it. Oh, I don't have the money for that. So then don't waste your time on that. Let's generate some leads. Let's generate some prospects. Let's get more business so that we could pay for somebody to take care of that. And then what do? We free up more of our time to take care of business.
That's right. That's right. I mean, leveraging is the right word for it. Exactly.
Yeah,
you want to leverage those who are busiest and can handle the work that you can't do. You know, you want other people to actually take care of that for you so that you can actually focus your 20% on the prospecting.
100%.
Okay.
Guys, I think we're set.
Oh, I think we are set. Is the music in the background? Because I'm hearing some good music.
You know, it's that's what it is, man. It comes in slow. It comes in to let you guys know that we're basically at the end of the episode. But before
it's
we
a grown folk music. All right.
In the last 48 hours, I showed over 250 people, 4 properties in 3 states.
Wow. There you go. Leveraging your network, guys. That's all it is. That's it.
Wow.
I'm sure Sekou isn't on all these platforms, spending a lot of time there. He's focusing.
Oh, he's using
on
one platform. I'm sure he's using social media for that one.
Oh yeah. Who isn't at this point, right? Awesome. So today we got to shout out our most valuable post MVP before we let you go. So who is that gonna be?
Oh, we know. Right now he's just been posting away.
Let's go. It's gonna be Sekou MVP of today's episode. Let's go. Straight from his desk, yo.
Cool.
Straight from his desk. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, folks, thanks again. For
Thank you.
tuning
Thank
in.
you, everyone.
All right, guys.
appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you. Until next week. All right.
And before we
And,
go, you already know it's the weekend. And when the weekend is here, open
Open
houses
house!
are in full effect. So make sure you go
Always.
check us out. All right.
Always.
I'm going to be in Forest Hills, Kew Garden Hills, and East Elmhurst this whole weekend. So if you're in town, hit me up. Let's
No.
chat. Come check out
Where
my
are you gonna
properties.
be, Israel?
I got Kew Gardens, Briarwood, Kew Garden Hills. Then I'm hitting the city by Inwood, and then well, not open house for that, but doing the showing, and
Nice.
coming back over here to Forest Hills.
Yeah, I just stick to Forest Hills. I'm just gonna be a little bit lazy. You know,
Listen, but you're out there.
I have that
I know-
cold I need to take care of. I'm
I
gonna
know
stay
people
local. I do Kew Gardens, Forest Hills. That's it. That's it. All right, guys.
Listen, I know people that stay local and they stay as local as their home. They're not even going
No,
out.
no,
this
no, no,
weekend.
no,
So
no, no.
At least,
Still,
at least you're going out there. At least you're going
yes,
out there.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
all over the
guys.
place. But all right, folks.
Adios,
Enjoy your
everyone.
weekend.
Adios.
Peace.
See you guys next week.
Shout
Bye.
out to
Thank you for
Jersey
tuning
City.
in.
Look at this. Let's go.
Jersey.
Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Adios.
Bye.